Hey, welcome. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. To get the ball rolling, why don't you pick which game you want to play? All right.
What is that?
Now, how many people do we have?
It doesn't look funky. It looks
Good enough.
ridiculous.
Player 1, type your name in.
No, I am not Fly. Just get it
Thank
over
you
with.
much. Player 2, let's have your name now. Yep,
They
got
called
it.
me and they wanted to make a movie about it, but I
Player
said
1,
no.
you have the
Ned
letter
Beatty's
Q
not
as
making
in
it.
See if they can pick up
quintess.
some bourbon too, will you?
And player 2, you have the letter P as in proxy server.
Sweet fancy Moses to bring him
that camera's worth more than your
into the light.
kidney.
20 seconds.
Okay, heads up. Here's how the game works. The first one of you to buzz in on a question gets first stab at the answer. So you buzz in and then press 1, 2, 3, or 4 depending on which answer you want. You read me? Good.
All right, we're going. 9.
Make it count.
8.
And
get rid of the depth tap. Go to 5, 4, 3.
Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it does allow me to waste your time.
ECS, alligators, craft,
Alternating current.
angelic Claudia
Cold shoulder. Acrophobia coming soon.
Acrophobia, the hilarious word game that puts your creativity on the line.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide.
Yep, that's right. You've made it to our Sidekicks episode. And no, this is not an excuse to start kicking people in the side. Instead, it's an excuse to start making fun of people who just aren't as good or famous or beautiful as the stars of this world. Okay, let's go. First, I need to hand out some screws. Here you go to both of you, 1 screw each. So here's what you do with these screws. If you think your neighbor doesn't know the answer to a question, but you want to make them answer it anyway, buzz in and then hit the S key to screw them. All right, you ready? Let's start. Player 1, what's up?
Question number 1.
I believe this one is called They Go Together Like Babbling Idiots. You get this one, you pocket $2,000. Hey, you've seen the movie Grease, right? Or the musical, or heard the soundtrack over and over and over? Well, according to the lyrics of the song We Go Together, according to the song We Go Together, Sandy and Danny go together like Rama Lama Lama Kadinga-Kadinga-Dong. My suggestion is that they hop into that flying car of theirs and jet off to a speech therapist. Player 2, what looks good? The category? Work it like the second-rate hero you are. You give me a right answer, I'll give you $3,000. Think fast, it's question time. Because their martial art of choice doesn't use them, which of the following sidekicks will not learn how to... Player 2, you gotta answer it. Nope, Robin would have learned sidekicks. Maybe then he wouldn't be such a wuss. Yeah, you heard me, Robin. You want a piece of me? Come and get it. What do you say, Player 1? All yours, Player 1. In the martial art Aikido, there is no sidekick technique, Grasshopper. So, Aqualad will be the only one who wouldn't learn how to do a sidekick. But he can talk to fish, so who really cares? Player 1, your choice.
Answer question 3.
Here we have The Adventures of Johnny Question. I got $2,000, says you don't know this one. Ready? Here's the question. Because his name is Haji, what can cartoon adventurer Johnny Quest... Player 2. In Islam, Haji is the name given to a person who's made a pilgrimage to Mecca. So Johnny could safely assume Haji's been to Mecca. Now, you know, if I were Haji, I probably would have stayed in Mecca. I mean, what's the point of battling mutated lizards, ex-Nazis, death rays? Plus, you gotta put up with that blonde punk kid and his dad. Forget it. What's it gonna be, Player 2?
Hallelujah! Bow your heads and pray to 4.
Well, Well, what do we have here? Chopped liver? You call that a fantasy? You get it right, I'm putting you up $2,000. Heads up, here it comes. Imagine that Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island is Jewish because he has a tattoo. Which of these is commonly thought to be true under Jewish law? His family must disown him. He cannot be buried in a Jewish cemetery. It's true that tattoos are technically forbidden by Jewish law, and the common misbelief among Jews is that if you have a tattoo, you can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery. Which is why, eventually, he had a laser taken to his butt. That's the end of round 1. We'll be back with round 2 right after these messages.
To learn more about an advertiser, hit any key on your keyboard. We'll show you more information after you leave the game.
Dan Hut, play chain of command at 2am.com today, soldier.
Play poker online with other people live at www.2am.com.
Hugo? Yeah, Hugo Boss. The fragrance. The world is getting smaller.
Smell better.
Hugo.
Welcome back. Time to play round 2, where the values are doubled. You ready? Good, we're starting. Player 2, take your pick.
Numero 5, and you don't know Jack.
For your enjoyment, what's a banana's motivation? How does $4,000 grab you? Heads up, here it comes. Suppose you're sick of always playing second banana. If he knows his chemistry, what? When fruit ripens, it converts starch to sugar. So if you do the same thing, you'll be a star. And soon you'll be starring in such fine films as Going Bananas 2 and Herbie Continues to Go Bananas. Player 1, why don't you give me a category?
We're a bunch of hicks and we love the question 6.
This category is known as Highway to the Heavens. How does $2,000 sound? Hey, do you remember BJ and the Bear? The TV truck driver and his monkey sidekick? Boy, I wish I didn't have to pay property tax. Imagine this. BJ kicks the bear to the curb and gets a new shotgun partner. The gun's take a shot, player 2. Ursa Major or the Great Bear. You know, Ursa Major, I've been thinking, let's make the next food stop something light, like Subway. Okay, steak and shake again. Stupid bear. Your call, player 2.
7, lucky 7.
We're calling this one on the next The X-Files. Scully kicks the bucket. How does $4,000 grab you? Okay, so you know how in The X-Files, Mulder is always rescuing Scully just in the nick of time? Yeah, whatever. Imagine Mulder is too late and Scully ends up in hell. If Mulder makes the same deal, Orpheus was allowed to take his lady friend out of hell, as long as he didn't look at her until he got back to Earth. And similar to Mulder, I believe Orpheus wasn't allowed to say anything unless it was in a monotone mumble. Pick a category, player 1.
2, 4, 6, 8. Question 8 is jailbait. Go 8.
Coming at you, Ozzy and Lita, the Home Appliance Tour. You want $6,000? Give me your right answer. Oh man, remember way back in the 80s when Ozzy Osbourne and Lita Ford recorded that bitchin' duet, Close My Eyes Forever? Yeah! If Ozzy and Lita teamed up again to form a bimetallic... Gotta answer it, player 1. As the name implies, a bimetallic strip is a strip of two pieces of metal that do some weird scientific stuff that you wouldn't understand even if I explained to you, which makes the heat come on. And before we move on to the next question, I'd just like to say, Ozzy! Yeah! Thank you very much. Let's move on. Nice work, player 2. Looks like you're getting screwed. Let's see how you handle the hardware. Player one, what are we doing? Okay, Flesh Nut Slit Slime Snore.
It's time for a Tinkerlick Test Drum.
Your gibberish category for today is cooking tips for President Lincoln. The opening value of this gibberish question is $10,000. Now check this out. As the time disappears, so does the money. So the sooner you buzz in, the better. Okay, tell me what song title this rhymes with. Player two, go for it. Yep, many a night I would lay in bed whispering those words into my pillow, pretending it was my girlfriend. But of course, I've since outgrown that sort of behavior, and now I only say it to my sofa. That's the end of round two. We'll be right back with round three after this.
Vote.
What sport lets you wear the coolest clothes?
Vote.
Which national news anchor baby talks during commercial breaks?
Vote. Democracy depends on you.
Introducing a revolutionary concept in web design, Airforce.com. Enjoy one-stop shopping for Air Force wallpaper, screensavers, e-cards, and games, all absolutely free. This is an unlimited time offer, so act now. Visit www.airforce.com.
Welcome back. It's time to play round three. Now, I'm not going to send you out there without a screw first, so here you go. One screw for everybody. All right, if everybody's ready, let's do it. Player two, what do you want?
10 fingers and 10 toes, would you like to have a cheap cigar?
This one's called Some Sidekicks Need a Good Kick. $2,000 for a correct answer. Pencils ready. Let's do it. Suppose Gilligan's Island turned out to be 3 Mile Island. How might a hilarious episode... 3 Mile Island is the site of a nuclear power plant that 20 years ago experienced a radioactive meltdown, the worst nuclear accident in U.S. history. Yeah, I can see it now. Gilligan replaces the cooling rods with coconut shells, and the core melts, and the radiation kills all of us. You know what? That's not even funny. Player two, grab a category. Yeah, player one, move over. Player two, you got yourself a dis or dat. And this dis or dat questions category is, the secret word is implant. Okie dokie, I'm going to read off the names of 7 characters, and I want you to tell me if they're a sidekick to Mitch on Baywatch or to Pee-wee Herman on Pee-wee's Playhouse. As I shout out each one, if it's a Baywatch sidekick, press 1. If it's a Pee-wee's Playhouse sidekick, press 2. And to skip it, press 4. You get $1,000 for each right answer, and you lose $1,000 for each one you get wrong, or you don't get to. Okay, you got 30 seconds. You ready? Let's dance. Jambi, Baywatch or Pee-wee? Shawnee. Terry. Lonnie. Hobie. Globy. One more. Sherry. That'll do it. Perfect. And with time to spare, no less. Here you go. Congratulations. Let's move on. Let's have a category, player one.
Well, let's delve into question 12.
Well, what do we have here? In sports, sidekick means bench warmer, and this one's worth $4,000. Okay, this here is one of those fancy newfangled fill-in-the-blank questions, so when you know the answer, buzz in and start typing. Now tell me, what professional sport did the Dallas... Player one, sorry. Very clever. Sidekicks. Right, I get it. Must be soccer, of course. Indoor soccer. Man, I'll tell you, there are so many pro leagues these days. Soon, every single person in the country will be a pro athlete. Player one, tell me what's next.
Look at the green.
It's 13.
For your enjoyment, just effing around. And this one's worth $6,000. Okay, I have in my hands a very, very old help wanted ad from about 1763. Oh, stupid 18th century English. I can't tell the difference between the F's and the S's. Oh, great. All right, here it is. Single white male, Samuel Johnson. Player 2, you gotta answer. James Boswell must have answered this ad because he's famous for writing Samuel Johnson's biography and being his pal. And all those people who used to put F's in for S's way back then, you can go suck yourselves. Well, like the man says, player 1, one big screw deserves another. Category time, player 2. Ain't no love like number 14. Let's see what we got going. It's Mr. Bell calling for Mr. Harry Pitts. I'll give you 4,000 clams for this bad boy. So you probably know that Alexander Graham Bell made his first phone transmission to his assistant, Mr. Watson, right? Suppose Mr. Watson, tired of Alexander Graham... Gotta answer it, player 1. Here's a little tip for you. If you don't want your number to show up on someone's caller ID, dial *67 before making the call. Of course, since Bell was just in the next room, Watson could have just walked over and smacked him in the head with a croquet mallet. Hey, player 2, right back at you with that screw action. Yeah, that's it for round 3. One Jack Attack coming up right after this.
So we're in the middle of the movie, and I'm like, oh my god, the good character is the one.
Kinda makes talking seem overrated, doesn't it? Air Crisps. One taste, and you'll be back.
Welcome to the Jack Attack. When you see 2 words on the screen that match, hit your buzzer. If you're right, I'll give you 2,000 bucks. If you're wrong, you're going down 2,000. But don't forget, remember the clue. Not any old word's gonna do it. It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Who's your goofy, annoying friend? I like to call him Lil Schmitty, if you must know. Have fun. Now that was an attack. You enjoy that moment while I tally up the score. Player 2's got it. Well, what do you know, Player 2? You came out with a sound victory. Now listen to this sound.
You don't know Jack!
Howdy, kids. This is Pecos Bucky here, telling you to tune in next week for another exciting episode of You Don't Know Jack the Netshow. Woohoo! And they didn't even pay me to say this. Woohoo!
Good show, everyone. You've made me very proud. Cookie, could you ask the players what they want to do next?
Hey, if you guys want to play again, just let me know, okay? All right. Oh, all right. See ya.
Well, what are we going to do?